Hyatt Saikin, human structure engineer and miracle worker for back pain. I will say that as a personal claim because I found Hyatt and you've been helping me come back from the edge of extreme constant pain. Oh my goodness. Good to see you, Hyatt. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's good to be here.
So, Hyatt, we knew each other long ago from the entrepreneur scene in Ottawa, Canada. And I saw you for the first time in years, and I was standing like a man in a lot of pain. I have discovered what the sciatic nerve is. Apparently, it's a thing that causes pain in your back and your leg. I've been dealing with it, and you could see from across the room what was going on because you are a Rolfer, which we
Yes.
will discuss what a Rolfer is. And I'm so grateful that you said something. I forget what you said exactly, but like it looks like you're in some pain. And I came to see you. It's been 3 sessions, and I'm standing straight, and I'm 90% out of pain. Um, and it's been amazing. So I wanted to interview you to better understand and share your work with more people because you probably know better than most, neck pain, back pain. It's so debilitating. It has actually it almost changed my identity. Prior to this experience, I was a youthful, vigorous, strong like bull, ox of a man. And now I look at a set of staircases like it's like, an insurmountable task to go up these stairs. So let's dive in. What is Rolfing?
Well, Rolfing was developed by a Dr. Ida Rolf, and she was a PhD in college and chemistry who had her own movement and health problems, as well as a son with movement and health problems. And she used her background and knowledge and realized that there was a tissue that all of us have in the body in abundance called connective tissue. And that this tissue, when it was not healthy and resilient and moving as it was meant to move in a resilient way, could cause a great deal of imbalance in the body that resulted in lack of energy and discomfort or outright pain. And over a lifetime, she developed this work and made it so that she could not only do it, but teach others to do it. And fortunately, I have learned to do it. So
Okay, so
that's,
we have this connective tissue.
yes,
And the way I thought about it was like there's a bag wrapping around my body, which inside of it has muscles, and inside of that there's bones. But it's really the bag, like the skin, that's kind of holding everything together. And if we can move that in a certain way, then I'm going to stand more straight. I'm going to feel less pain. Is that about right?
that's very good. Yes. Actually, every muscle fiber of your body, every organ fiber, every thing in your body is encased in this connective tissue called fascia. And this fascia can get, through injury or misuse, hardened, dehydrated, and can rub up against nerves or keep the body from moving in a fluid way. And that can cause pain and discomfort. In addition, this tissue has a plasticity to it. And one of the things we learn to do is release it and allow it to go to its optimal place, which is always a place of comfort and ease. It's a matter of release, not of forcing.
Okay, let's talk about pain because I have developed a new relationship with pain. It used to be a thing that gave me a signal, don't touch that, don't, but now it's just like, oh, I can sleep in pain, I can wake up in pain, and the nonstop pain is affecting me psychologically. I've got back pain. I don't know about neck pain, but I'm learning about nerves. Apparently, these are the guys that are telling the brain pain. But what do you know about pain and how do we fix it?
Well, fortunately, I've not lived much in pain. I don't like it when it has happened, but it's not a constant in my life. But unfortunately, I have learned a great deal about it from the people who've come to see me. And I have a great deal of empathy for it. And I am told by other practitioners and people who see me that I have an ability to relate to it and to get my hands and allow the things that need to happen to release. And I want to be clear, what is usually the problem when this tissue adheres is that the body is twisted, randomized, and not able to, and people have to brace and tense parts of their body in ways that it was not meant to happen. So if somebody banged their neck in some way or was in a car accident, they might be holding their head, bracing their neck in a way that causes pain, and they can't release it. They can't get out of it. It has hardened, dehydrated, and it needs a touch, a trained touch, to allow the tissue to rehydrate and to move to a better place.
Hmm. Now, speaking of touch, just to give people like an idea of how your work is. You've got a table. Sometimes I'm on the table, sometimes I'm sitting on this block you have, and you're going skin to skin, but you're not using oil.
No,
You ever use oil?
no,
Okay. And it's kind of like a good amount of pressure, kind of
yes.
stretching the skin a little bit.
Well, it's not actually the skin, it's this fascial tissue.
Uh-huh.
But if I could ask you, to you, did it feel like I was going deep? People always say to me, I need deep work. A little surface skin is not what I need. I need somebody who can go really deep. Did it feel as though I was down deep and releasing deeply held structures?
No, because the pressure isn't really in. It's kind of just you're kind of going lateral. It's like pulling a little bit. Um, and you always ask me how do I feel, and I say, well, I feel better because like I can breathe more and like my chest is a little bit more open. When I'm laying down, and I think you're going into I don't know what it's called in there, hip muscles. That's sensitive. I wouldn't say that it's deep, but it's a little bit more, I'm a little bit more sensitive there.
Many people will respond to what you've just done as it's deep.
Hmm.
Uh, what I'm releasing or what I'm doing in there is releasing this fascial tissue that can be held in the lumbars. It can be held in the cervicals. Usually it's the places where people hurt. This tissue has adhered, it's dehydrated, and nerves get irritated and weight blocks get twisted. Uh, for example, you're able to breathe deeper. I would say that's a good thing.
Hmm.
Would have felt better
Yeah.
being able to breathe deeper. Many times people's breathing muscles are shut down. It's the first thing we do as a Rolfer. The first thing I did in the first time I met you was open up the breathing. Let's get you breathing. Then I did some opening of the neck and some work on the lower back. Uh,
Yeah.
that's just the first session. But then, and we do go deeper each session as we go along.
Yeah. So Hyatt, you know a little bit about the journey that led me to you because um my process as to deal with pain is like okay, first thing I want to do is I go see a massage therapist because I think
Got
massage, I think relaxing music and chirping birds and nice oils and candles. But each time I did that, it actually made things worse. So that was
well,
a problem. Yeah, yeah. I would get off the table. I'd be in more pain. I'd be in more pain the next day, and it just wasn't going away. Then I went to a chiropractor. Now, this was in El Salvador, so it was a bit different. I got cupping, I got needles, I got cracked in every different way, and once again, more pain. Uh, so my process was like, I'm just gonna keep seeing different people until it starts feeling better, right? So I went to an acupuncturist, I went to a physiotherapist, then I found you, and things got better real fast. So, who should see you first, and how do you advise people who are kind of like trying to find all these different practitioners to solve a problem?
Well, see, I would say even people who were not in pain would benefit to come to see me. They would notice more energy, more vitality, more flexibility. But many people won't do something like this until they have discomfort as a motivator. Now, I certainly think massage people are wonderful. If somebody wants to give me a great massage, I'm right there. Okay. And I have worked with chiropractors. I have friends who are chiropractors. I understand the treatments you were talking about. Now, let me make an analogy. If you have a plumbing problem, you can call the best electrician. They're not going to solve the problem. And so you didn't have, and massage people work on the muscles. You didn't have a muscular problem. Chiropractors, they will, generally speaking, just work on the articulations of the spine. And if that's your problem, they're wonderful. I'm not here to say they're not. But so many people who are in serious discomfort have a fascial adhesion problem. I've seen this over the years so many times. I'm convinced that is what happens. If you are in a car accident, they will frequently say you have soft tissue damage. What they're saying is the fascial system of your body has been twisted and it's beyond working properly. Massage people don't do that. Chiropractors don't do that. Really, the people who are the experts at it are us Rolfers, structural therapy, structural integration. And what we're doing is releasing this tissue and allowing the body to come to a place where it can move freely. And sometimes I'll even use the word gracefully. And
Yeah, I've
you've
been I haven't been saying the word mobility as much as I have over the last 3 months because you've seen how I show up. I can barely reach my feet. I'm barely moving. I'm feeling so fragile. I feel like a 80-year-old, probably worse than some 80-year-olds. So this graceful movement idea, that's like the vision for where I want to be. I'm moving towards that. Structural integration. One of the first things you said to me on the first session, you gave me like an architecture analogy, like how buildings have to deal with gravity and that we're like that, but we have to move around. And each time, throughout the session, you're taking a look at my posture like an architect could look at a building. And sure enough, when we started, one leg was kind of out and I was kind of leaning like this. And by the end of the first session, I was standing like a normal person. I suppose that's how normal people stand. I was unconscious, first of all. I've never thought about how I stand. Never
yeah,
thought about how I stand. Um, and it was interesting how I could stand and the pain would go away when I was kind of following these structural principles of letting back, I think you call it letting gravity flow through me freely
yeah.
versus how I was standing where gravity's just like hitting me in certain places.
Yes, that's a very good point. When gravity, if the force of gravity gets caught someplace, it can start to hurt. But let's go back to the analogy of a building. Clearly, your body obeys the same physical laws as a building. And if a building was crooked, out of plumb, twisted, and one next to it was plumb in the gravitational field, you'd buy the one that was competent in the gravitational field. Well, that's kind of what you were beginning to feel. Now, we've only had 3 sessions, but already you've begun to feel yourself more competent in the gravitational field. And as we go along, this will accelerate with each additional session. So that's what we're really doing, is bringing you into a place of harmony so the force of gravity can flow through you. And I will often, to make the point with people, say, if you doubt how strong the force of gravity is, just take your phone, take it out of its case and hold it to your head over the concrete sidewalk. You wouldn't drop it. Just from the height of your head, you know that the force of gravity would smash your phone on the concrete sidewalk. Well, you are constantly using, if you're not in a place of balance, you are using internal musculature to keep yourself literally from falling on your face. And
Yeah.
over time, that can add up and cause a lot of problems. Or it can be accelerated through accident or injury. So that's how we work.
Okay. So how does it work for someone to get started with you, Hyatt? You and I, we saw each other across the room. You saw, okay, we need to talk. And but what do you normally do? People come in and see you, or you take a phone call first?
Normally, it's a friend of somebody I'm working on,
Uh-huh.
or a husband or a child or something like that. And
Yeah.
they say, hey, you've been helping Joe or Maria. I'd like to come in and see you. And I'll
Mm.
normally talk with them on the phone and determine if indeed this is something that will help them. For example, I say this is great work, and even people who are not in pain, I say would probably get a lot of benefit. But for the person who's interested in pain, for example, if they have peripheral nerve damage from, say, diabetes, this is not going to take that away. It's great work. It's not for everyone. So I'll chat with them on the phone to find out that this is something that can help them. And then we'll make an appointment. They'll come in and I'll proceed with them much the way I did with you.
Great. So for the listener who is wanting to come see you, where should they go? What should they do right now?
Well, they can go to my website at www.rolfottawa.ca, or they can call me at 613-277-5080. If they're somewhere else on the continent, they can still call or email me, and I'll be happy to tell them of somebody who can practice this where they are. There aren't that many of us, but we're around.
Okay, great. So Rolf, R-O-L-F, is the practice. And so if you're listening to this somewhere way outside of Ottawa, Canada, R-O-L-F, or
Yes,
Rolfing. And the website is Rolf Ottawa, OTTAWA.ca.
yes.
There we go. Hyatt Saikin, thank you so much. Any
Thank
final
you.
words, any final thoughts
No,
that you want to?
I just appreciate, thank you for having me on, and be well.
My pleasure. You too. Thank you.